Okay, I'm Mariana González Leija. I'm happy to be here, of course, on behalf of these institutions, particularly from the Anáhuac Mayab University. I'm going to present the implementation of PURES in the Regnum Christi International Universities Network. This work was developed with Dr. Narciso, which is the Director of Research and Development. And yes, now we both serve as the project managers for PURE. So what is this presentation about? We are relatively new in PURE. We want to share our experience with you, the journey that we already did, and where we are now, and where are the next steps for us in PURE. So I'm going to start talking about us, the Regnum Christi, and from now I'm going to say RIU, because it's a long name. It's composed by 15 higher institutions present in five countries. We have Universidad Francisco de Victoria in Spain. We have Università Europea di Roma in Italy, and then also the Ateneo Pontificio Regina Apostolorum in Italy. We have presence in Chile through Finisterra University, and here in the United States through Divine Mercy. In Mexico, there's several universities. We have a network inside the network. So these institutions are under the name of Anáhuac Universities. I belong to Anáhuac Mayab, which, as far as I know, we have one of the best campuses. And of course, we have one of the best cuisines, the cochinita pibil and panuchos and salbutes. So we are close from Cancun. You can visit us and then go to Cancun. Yes, and of course, we share an identity, a Catholic identity, and we are committed to integral formation, excellent leaderships, and of course, everything under the values of Christian religion. So we have a student population of around 9,000 students. More than the 50% belong to the Anáhuac network. And yes, in a context, this is what we are. So in this next slide, I'm showing some of the timeline for the network and some of our milestones. It all starts with the foundation of Anáhuac Mexico in the central part of Mexico. And over the next decades, the rest of the institutions were founded. Every institution with differences in infrastructure and expertise and capabilities in research and everything. Then another important milestone for us was that the first two universities starting with research activities were Anáhuac Mayab and, of course, the Anáhuac Mexico. And it was until 2015 that the RIU was formally established as a network. After that, the research became one of the main strategic lines for us. And then, by the 2020, we started looking at a system that helped us to show to the world what we are. So that was our life before PURE. And then, 3 years later, we made the acquisition of PURE, of course, and it was launched during the second RIU research meeting that was held in Madrid. And this year, we also launched the first grant for collaborative research projects inside the network with the help of Elsevier, of course. So next year, during the third research meeting for us, we're going to release our community under the community model. I'm going to explain later what is this about. Okay. So research is not the only strategic line. We are also engaged with internationalization, educational innovation, and of course, digital transformation and Catholic identity and everything. But in terms of research, we have defined these thematic areas health and well-being, person and society, economics and business, humanities and arts, and of course, exact scientists and technology. In a later slide, I'm going to invite you to visit our portal to explore with more detail what are these areas about. Okay, why we choose Chris, Pure, as our Chris? So, as many of you, we start looking for the way to show us increased visibility, of course, of every university and our expertise, expands and promote collaboration among our universities, but also beyond the borders of the network, improve our capacity for knowledge management, of course, showcase to society all of our strengths in research, and in the short term, we are looking to have information to make or support decision-making, of course. So with this in mind, the result was the acquisition of 2 instances of Pure, one as a strategic decision for Francisco de Vitoria University to integrate the more than 1,000 researchers they have, and the other instance, integrating those universities that you see here. We have now 600 active researchers, but by now we only have 150 licenses and only 120 researchers in this instance from below. So, yeah, and the next year we're going to release as a community module. It wasn't easy. To be on Pure, of course, we face some challenges, and we are starting to make some actions, and we are working on that. We can summarize this in these 3 bullets. The first one was the adoption and the transition to a new approach to manage all the information they have. We have several differences, as I'm going to mention. The other one was to enhance the interdisciplinary and the research collaborative work in our institutions. And one of the main challenges also was to decide who is going to be in Pure. And this is now it's a responsibility from every research office in every institution. They define who are going to be, and the basic criteria is, of course, the trajectory and the productivity. And through this journey, we also discovered several things. I want to highlight the huge asymmetries we have in research maturity, in research capabilities, of course, and the way we manage information. And we see that we need to improve or even develop formal administrative mechanisms to, one, make the acquisition of Pure, and then to support the use of it. So it is difficult. So in general, I can see that we need to improve our governance structures, communication channels, share protocols, and of course, strengthen a legal framework, at least for research activities as a network. As mentioned, every institution has their own way to do that, but this was the first time after we made the acquisition of Pure, it formally started the work as a network. It was the first time. It sounds obvious, but we haven't worked, at least in research teams. Okay. Then, once Pure was implemented, we also faced some challenges and actions. We are working on that. And I need to highlight that the need we have to explain to researchers and research staff the benefits to be on Pure, of course, and the importance to keep their profiles updated. And we are also working on encourage them not to see Pure as another system to fill out, but that they are able to see that give us an identity, a huge identity, in addition to the universities, but also we belong to a bigger institution. So, due to the different places we are, of course, we need to develop some capabilities to train the research staff and, of course, the researchers. And we need to point out that we need to promote a culture of critical review of every information that is automatically and manually uploaded to Pure, particularly from those research outputs that were created from another affiliation. So it is important to us to not interfere with the authorships and be clear, be transparent in the portal. So it's important to us. Okay, it's also a priority for us to keep the workflow active. It's a very difficult task because we have different sub-administrators in every institution and staff. So there's a lot of notification in every, as a global administration, that we need to start to keep pushing the people to maintain active this workflow. So, and finally, of course, we are developing guidelines to embed practices to avoid all these gaps. Great. What is the value, the actual value of Pure to us? We have several, but I want to highlight the fact that beyond the visibility that Pure is giving us, has helped us to know each other in the network. We didn't know what Chile was doing or Spain was doing, and this is the first time that we have the complete scope of that. So thank you so much for that to Pure. Now we better understand the internal strength we have, and just to be able to see this great collaborative map led us to see the geographical reach of our expertise and research strengths. So only to see that map has a huge value for us. And in another way, Pure has sparked or detonated some kind of healthy competition among the universities. So vice chancellor and authorities are start to see that they need to improve and more funds to research. So it is important also to us. And it is helping us to create a research culture in every institution. So also thank you for that to Pure. And this is how we look in the portal public. Please visit us. This is what we have now. We are on the way to have more information, as just Sofia told us. Irina, sorry. The more information we have, the more visibility we are going to have too. So to see the impact, the actual impact that Pure is having, we perform a quick analysis on Google Analytics. This is the period of time of this analysis. And as you can see by now, the last count this morning is about 18,000 views. The people is spending more than 1 minute exploring the portal. We have, of course, naturally, viewers from Mexico, United States, Chile, and everything, but we are seeing that from other places are visiting the portal. And this is the user activity over the time. We can see that those pages are the most visit. We can see the people is looking for personas, and publication, of course. The portal is in 3 languages, in English, Spanish, and Italian, because we have presence in Rome. And for some way, the people of, we can see the impact for a particular publication. So that's, we don't know why. We have to see what is the interest on those kind of papers. So this is just a beginning of being able to see the results to having pure. So. Also, thanks to the fingerprint engine, now we know what are the strengths we have in several knowledge areas. We can see we have strengths in health sciences, life sciences, physical sciences, social sciences, and of course, now we can see what our researchers are doing in the different universities. So it's a very valuable information here. Right. We are starting to perform some exercise and reporting, and from these basic scorecards, we can see that we are more or less 50-50 in females and women. So maybe we need to start take some action to give more visibility to women in science. And in another case, we can compare, this is showing peer-reviewed papers, and from the same papers, the citation in Scopus. And we can see that even one university has more peer-reviewed papers, the other one has more citations. So this is talking about the selection that we need to make in order to have more impact. Maybe, no? We need to see indeed what is also talking about. So, yeah. Then, using just a table, we can see where are our top researchers. You can see it in the H index, and of course, a simple analysis of citation as a corresponding author that giving us an idea of the experience of researchers. We can see, and we are proud to have most of the cited authors in the Anáhuac Mayab, and then the other institution, of course. Next. There. We also perform this analysis from PlumX, and it was a surprise to see that Divine Mercy, which is a university specialized in psychology, is having more mentions in the social media, and also Finisterra. Maybe we need to start to see what are they doing to be or to have more visibility. Maybe the teams that they are researching are of interest in different persons. So we need to see what is the origin of this. No, we need to see. And of course, Finisterra in social media is in the first place. Muy bien. Okay. What are the next steps for us in Pure? Several things, but the most important is, of course, we need to increase the number of researchers on Pure. We are on the way to integrate repositories from universities, because we think as more information we have centralized in this place, the better the decisions we are going to take and align our research plans. And of course, strengthen the collaboration and have access to international funding. And finally, we are expecting to make the Pure into the gateway to our universities. The people that visit Pure then explore in deep in every of our institutions. So, thank you for your attention. And finally, before I finish, Dr. Joanny Rodriguez, which is the leader of the research strategic line for the RIU, and to all these amigos from Pure. Without them, anything of this will be possible. So thank you so much. This is an order of appearance in our life. Diana, Carlos Lazo, Diego Bermúdez, Tatiana Castro, David, and Katia. So thank you so much. Questions?
Thank you very much for your very transparent and open presentation, showing us your journey into Pure and through Pure and the initial steps. Are there any questions or comments or recommendations?
Sorry for my Spanglish, but I can see. Yes.
Do you have any lessons learned or word of advice for the next time, maybe for the next university you add in, or any tips?
They need to, as mentioned, the challenges and action, they need to be very careful with every information they upload, not only trusting the automatically tasks that the Pure performs, but when they start to upload their content, be very careful with the fields that they complete, and keep the profile updated. It is important. They want to show. They need to show all their activities, all the results they have. Yeah, so it is a big challenge to convince them to keep the profile update. They see sometimes as another research gate, as another system to fill out, and this is a big challenge. I think we can share this issue in every institution with you, and the only way is to see the impact that this is having for them in order to contact more specialists, to start find funding for the researchers and anything. Yeah, I think so. More questions? Yes?
Hi, I was wondering what sort of divisions within the universities are supporting this project. Are you all working with the libraries or research offices?
Well, there's, of course, a TI department that is helping us in all the configurations, the people from Pure. Librarians is not working on that, only the research department in every institution, except I think for Chile, which has their own big department in research. The other institutions in Mexico are small offices in some cases. And yes, Francisco de Vitoria is the same case for Chile. So they have more integrated information and repositories. So they for sure are working with librarian and everything, but we have big difference in that also. So it's a challenge. In Mexico we're still working sometimes in Excel and everything. So it's a change in the approach to manage all the information. Yeah.
Looks like we don't have any more questions. Thank you very much again. We now break for lunch and we will reconvene at 1:45.
Thank you so much.